In October of 1857, Lieutenant Edward Fitzgerald Beale and his experimental camel corps trudged across the present site of Kingman, Arizona, surveying a wagon road along the 35th parallel. After the first travelers encountered hostile Indians in the area, Fort Mojave was established on the Colorado River. Off-duty soldiers scouted the hills and found gold and silver. Mining camps sprang up in the years to come, and in the early 1870s, cattle were driven in to take advantage of the lush grasses. Located in a natural basin surrounded by basaltic hills, it is ironic that Kingman was not established as a mining town, but as a railroad town. In 1880, Lewis Kingman surveyed along the Atlantic and Pacific right-of-way between Needles and Albuquerque. By 1883, the track was completed. In the beginning, the first reference found of Kingman is from the Alta, Arizona, a newspaper published in Mineral Park. The issue of 10 June 1882 states, "There is a new town on the Tapis at or near Beale Springs." In October 1882, the Alta, Arizona refers to the sampling works at Kingman, also saying that Middleton is to be hereafter named Kingman, where in November 1882, a rooming house, stores, and other buildings were going up. Conrad Shenfield, contractor for the track laying of the railroad, was an entrepreneur of sorts, obtaining land at various locations along the route of the railroad. He established and sold lots in Kingman before clear title of the land was obtained. It appears that Shenfield ran afoul of the law and some finagling went on. The town site location was not railroad land but belonged to the United States. The town of Kingman, located on the railroad, grew rapidly in the first few years. More growth was encouraged by the move of the Mojave County miner in 1886 to Kingman. The miner was originally established in Mineral Park in 1882. The story told by old-timers is that the dark night, a group of King Knights stole all the county records from Mineral Park Courthouse and moved them to a temporary courthouse in Kingman. Mineral Park shouted, "Thieves!" but as a county election that had been held in November of 1886 and legally gave Kingman the county seat. In the late 1800s, by 1880, most of the original town site lots had been sold. On the north side of the Santa Fe line, on the Front Street, now called Andy Devine Avenue, the business district grew, while on the south side, South Front Street, now called Topeka Street, became Kingman's best district for homes. Kingman sustained a steady growth through the late 1880s and 1890s. In 1890, the population was 300, and in 1900, it was about 500. There is evidence of a building boom around the turn of the century, despite major economic depression in 1893, when the price of silver fell from $1.29 to 78 cents an ounce. The evidence of a building boom around the turn of the century, despite a major economic depression in 1893 when the price of silver fell from $1.29 to 78 cents an ounce. The competitive increase in the value of gold, plus the cyanidation separations process introduced in Arizona in 1895, resulted in an influx of miners and promoters. The discovery in May 1900 of Gold Road, a rich gold strike in the Black Mountains, helped to make Kingman the center of the mining activities of the county. Kingman was lively and bursting at the seams in the first decade of the new century. The 4th of July was a big event of the year. Circuses and Wild West shows played to enthusiastic audiences. And the Mojave County miner interrupted its devotion to mining articles to call for the building of more hotels and to cascade the county for lousy roads. 1900s. At the end of the First World War, mining was still not operating at peak production and Kingman was feeling a pinch. In 1990, there were 7 garages, 3 meat markets, 2 drugstores, 2 churches, a Western Union, 2 lumber yards, a picture show, and numerous hotels and saloons. Kingman's one industry, the Yucca Fiber Factory, which was 7 garages, 3 meat markets, 2 drugstores, 2 churches, a Western Union, 2 lumber yards, a picture show, and numerous hotels and saloons. The location of Kingman's first airport, Port Kingman, was selected by Charles Lindbergh as part of the Transcontinental Air Transport System. Both Lindbergh and Amelia Earhart were present at the dedication on June 8, 1929. What is currently Airway Avenue was the major runway, a half-mile north of I-40, and it extended to Airfield Avenue, half-mile south of I-40. The original terminal, currently occupied by Brown Drilling, was accessed by Bank Street. The Mojave County Fairgrounds occupies most of the southwestern region of the original site. Port Kingman was not only Kingman's first airport, but it was also the first commercial airport in the state of Arizona. Kingman had the advantage of being located on the railroad on US 66. The next few years saw revival of the mines, good roads, excitement coming over Boulder Dam, now the Hoover Dam. The building of the Boulder Dam and the Boulder Dam Highway, now 93, and future Interstate 11, had a major impact on the growth in the area. In the 1930s through 1950s, Kingman was known for the gateway to the Boulder Dam, Hoover Dam. During World War II, the U.S. military established Kingman Army Airfield as a training base, and it forever altered Kingman's course. Completed in 1942, this base is where 36,000 gunners were trained, and when the war ended, many of the soldiers who were stationed in Kingman returned to call Kingman their home. Kingman Army Field is the site of the present Kingman Airport Industrial Park. In the 1950s and 60s, there was a heyday of Route 66 and fueled the Kingman economy with continuous flow of vacationers, business travelers, and transportation. In August 1980, Interstate 40 opened in Kingman, bypassing Route 66. Town leaders said the alignment showed off Kingman's best assets. Today, Kingman and the surrounding area have a population of about 45,000. Kingman has a highly rated hospital, several medical facilities, and major shopping areas. 3 school systems offer both traditional and online learning environments and include Kingman Unified School District No. 20, Kingman Academy of Learning, and the Kingman Blended Learning Center operated by Arizona Virtual Academy, a K-12 affiliate. Post-secondary education is provided by Mojave Community College and the Kingman Extended Campus of Northern Arizona University. Kingman is a site for industry with the Kingman Airport Industrial Park and the I-40 Industrial Corridor just west of Kingman. Recreational opportunities include golf courses, parks, hiking, biking, and OHV trail systems. 14 miles southeast of Kingman is a beautiful Hualapai Mountain Park operated by Mojave County. At an elevation of 6,700 feet, this cool oasis has cabins, RV parks, campgrounds, picnicking, hiking, and hosts several special events throughout the year. The Kingman area has numerous attractions, including wineries, a wildlife park, a unique small community such as Oatman, Chloride, and Meadview. Mojave County also boasts 1,000 miles of shoreline on the Colorado River, including Lake Mead, Havasu, and Mojave. These areas provide fishing, boating, swimming, and water sports. Andy Devine. Andy Devine was born on October 7, 1905 in Flagstaff, Arizona. Tom, Andy's father, worked for the railroad. When he lost a leg in a terrible accident in 1906, he used the settlement to purchase the Beale Hotel in Kingman, where Andy spent the rest of his childhood. A successful and community-minded business, Tom Devine was a member of the Good Roads Association and helped pave the way for National Old Trails Highway, which became
Got some of the
Route
coolest
66.
stuff.
Amy Devine, Andy's mother, was also community-minded as well as educated. In fact, she tutored the children of Nevada's governor prior to her married life.
That's cool. That's cool.
Best things to do in Kingman, Arizona.
Yeah.
Kingman Visitor Center is probably the first place you'll have to visit in Kingman. Here, you'll find free and updated information about the city and the area.
That's cool.
Historic Route 66 Museum. In Kingman, Arizona, the historic Route 66 Museum was created to preserve Kingman's history on the famous Route 66. It shows, chronologically, the history and uses of this route, from its commercial use by the Indians until its golden age in 1950.
You like my shirt?
The Kingman Historic Route 66 Museum has been collecting artifacts and memorabilia for many years to share Kingman's history. It is located on the former Kingman Powerhouse and was opened to the public in 2001. The address is 120 West Andy Devine Avenue, Kingman, Arizona. Mojave Museum of History and Arts is a historic museum in Kingman. The daughters of a pioneer founded Mojave Museum of History and Arts in 1961 in a room within Chamber of Commerce. 6 years later, he moved into a new building with his own parking lot. It's a private non-profit museum dedicated to preserving the history in ancient tribes.
Here's the other side. That's cool. Look at this, all metal. Oh, here's a good one.